Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hobart begins now.
Good evening. A woman has been killed in horrific circumstances after being thrown from her vehicle as it barrelled off the East Tamar Highway. She was driving towards Georgetown at dawn when she left the road at high speed. Police say a seatbelt could have saved her life.
The mangled Magna finally came to a stop some 100 metres from where it left the road. A 29-year-old woman was heading towards Georgetown around 6:30 this morning when she failed to turn at a bend. The car launched from a lip, sending it into a barrel roll and throwing the woman from her seat. She was crushed when the vehicle rolled on top of her.
I believe she was heading up to see her family in Georgetown for Easter Sunday.
She was the only person in the car. It's understood no one witnessed the crash, but passing motorists later made the urgent call to police. Investigators will hone in on whether inattention was a factor as well as speed.
Unfortunately, we drive cars every day, all of us do, and we become complacent. We think this is something that won't happen to us.
Police say the woman may have survived the crash if she was wearing a seatbelt. Tragically, it's the second death on our roads this Easter break after a woman died in a collision near Copping in the state's south.
This is our 10th fatality for this year. It's only just under where we were at this time last year, and as we know, that was a horrific year. So we really need every driver to pay attention to their driving.
Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
And this afternoon, emergency services were called to a separate single vehicle crash at Newstead. Hobblers Bridge Road was blocked after power lines were brought down during the incident. A man was taken to the Launceston General Hospital with minor injuries. A push for Easter Sunday to become a public holiday has fallen on deaf ears. Some Tasmanians are being paid $150 less than their mainland counterparts for their work today, a figure that not everyone knew.
While some woke up to chocolates and hot cross buns in bed this morning, others had a different cross to bear.
My daughter is at work today. She has to be away from her family on a day when we should all be sitting down eating Easter lunch together.
Retail, hospitality and health among the sectors still in service. Tasmania and South Australia are the only two states where Easter Sunday is not a public holiday. Only Good Friday and Easter Monday are. It means workers can't request the day off and won't get higher penalty rates.
Whether it be in hospitality or retail, we've got workers that today aren't being treated like the rest of the country. Backed
by Labor, even if MHA JANIE FINLAY couldn't cite the pay disparity.
JANIE, but you're calling for this, but you don't know what the difference is.
Oh, 100%. I've been a worker in hospitality, in fact, my whole life.
It's a difference of being paid a Sunday rate of time and a half compared to double time and a quarter for public holiday penalty rates, up to $150 less than their counterparts on the mainland.
There's blowback from business who say the extra cost would cause doors to close or prices to rise.
I'm not sure that our economy can stand for more people to do less work for more money in the coming decades.
Attorney General Elise Archer said the move is not being considered, believing the current number of public holidays strikes the right balance between businesses and workers. Tasmania has 11 public holidays, the equal least in the nation. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
And thousands of Tasmanians have flocked to places of worship for Easter Sunday celebrations. Centuries-old traditions taking place in churches across the state to mark Christianity's most sacred event.
After a solemn Good Friday, today was a time of joy for Christians. Hobart St David's Anglican Cathedral full of happiness. A special procession taking place with the congregation getting involved. The resurrection of Jesus Christ, the focus of celebration.
Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ.
We believe Jesus has conquered death, and that's a great thing to celebrate, and we'd love people to come and celebrate it with us.
This is my church, this is where I worship week by week. So yes, it's very important.
It was a similar theme at St Mary's Catholic Church, with a large crowd marking the occasion. The 3-day festival described as an emotional journey.
I remember a number of people come up and say, that it's strange kind of way to say that Easter is their favourite time of the year.
Both denominations sharing an Easter reflection. The Catholic Archbishop today using his Easter homily to highlight those who've been baptised as adults, despite the changing perception of the Church.
People are saying, no, there's something really worthwhile here. I'm prepared to, as an adult, choose to become a Christian.
Anglicans today focusing on hope in a broken world.
And so much pain and suffering, people need hope. And the hope of resurrection is the only hope that matters.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
The Tasmania Fire Service was kept busy overnight. Investigations are continuing into the cause of a shed fire at Rochely near Launceston. The 40-metre structure collapsed as a result. Meanwhile, a unit fire at Georgetown has been deemed deliberate. The blaze caused more than $200,000 damage. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. Sweet dreams are made of this, an Easter egg hunt for the ages. The rhythm of rampaging chocolate lovers reached fever pitch when families made the trek to one Tasmanian eatery.
In one big sugar hit, the trample for treats was unleashed. Children bolted for the bright foil hidden around Launceston's Apricus.
And the bag split?
Yes, we got a lot.
What's your favourite chocolate?
Kit Kat.
There were none of those, but plenty of Cadbury. This search party will really need to brush their teeth tonight after enjoying a haul of hollow and dense chocolate eggs.
We tried to find eggs that we could see from far away, before we went.
From treats out of the blue to hot cross buns out of the oven for hungry families across the state, while others chose Easter Sunday for its symbolic value, with young Grace being christened on this holy day.
Honoured to be able to celebrate it with our baby daughter.
And she's obviously enjoying the media attention.
I think so. Looks like it.
Easter is actually a new life for everyone. That when Jesus suffered from death, it brings new life to people.
The joy of life, something to be savoured. Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
The door has closed on the Royal Hobart Showgrounds Sunday markets. Hundreds passing through the markets for one final time today. The Showgrounds' multi-million-dollar redevelopment forcing them off the site after 38 years of trading. Organisers say the event has been an integral part of many people's lives.
People coming into the market, our stall holders have just done this for years and years and years, and unfortunately it's all going to go.
A suitable new venue is yet to be found. While the future of a Macquarie Point Stadium is still unclear, work started on a rival project at the Regatta Grounds today. The Uni Review AFL Licence Bid Committee brought out the heavy machinery, along with some other big units, spruiking the benefits of their bid.
No need to waste time on a start work notice or any of that nonsense. The only red tape we expect to see are the bans around the wads of cash we might get from Albo.
Now, scheming is the latest edition of the annual Tasmanian political satire show in its 76th year.
There's something for everybody. You'd be surprised at what you might find.
A little cliche, but expect the unexpected.
It opens in Hobart on May 5 for 3 weeks before heading to Launceston for a short stint. The early taste of winter has brought some beauty with it. Hobartians woke up to a dusting of snow on Kunyani, Mount Wellington this morning. It reached a low of minus 1.7 at the peak. The city was tropical compared to that, at just under 7 degrees.
In the Lacko Seljack Cup, Devonport, Glenorchy, Clarence and Riverside Olympic are through to the next round of the competition. Riverside putting its NPL struggles to one side with a thumping win over Barnstoneworth United. 3 goals in the first 50 minutes of the match, helping the side avoid a cup upset. United managed to peg one back in the second half, but it was merely a consolation. Riverside eventually winning 6-1 to book a spot in the quarterfinals.
Good evening. Temperatures well below average today. Devonport had the state's high with 17, 16 in Launceston, 15 in Burnie and Hobart, 13 degrees. Across the state, Flinders Island, Lowhead and St Helens made it to 16, Friendly Beaches and Strawn 13 and Lyowini shivering its way to 5. Satellite pictures show widespread low cloud across the south and west, patchy low cloud and clear breaks elsewhere. Further afield, a widespread area of high cloud sits over the Tasman Sea, while cold air is generating speckled cumulus cloud across Tasmania. Tomorrow, a low-pressure complex over the Tasman Sea directs a south to southeasterly airstream over Tasmania as a ridge approaches from the west. Southwesterly winds 30 to 40 knots in the east, between 20 and 35 in the west, and south and 15 to 25 knots in the north. Swells at 4.5 metres in the east and south, 1 metre in the north and 3.5 in the west. A gale warning is in place from east of Flinders Island to the southeast coast and a strong wind warning elsewhere. There's a bushwalkers alert for the western and central districts with snow to 800 metres. Looking ahead to tomorrow, Hobart a shower or two and 15, Dover also looking to rain and 14, Ooze cloudy and 16. Launceston partly cloudy and 17, Devonport mostly sunny 18 and Scottsdale cloudy and 16. In the west, Burnie a sunny 17, possible showers for Strawn 16 and Stanley cloudy and 18. To the east, a shower or two for St Helens 16, 14 for Swansea and Ross. And on Tuesday, showers about the east and south, fine elsewhere. Wednesday, fine in the southwest with showers across the rest of the state. And finally on Thursday, showers about the east, south and Bass Strait Islands, mainly fine elsewhere. Showers for Perth 24 degrees, Melbourne rain and 15 and sun for Alice Springs 35. And at the moment in Hobart it's 8 and mostly cloudy, Launceston 10 mostly clear, Devonport 11 and partly cloudy. And Lou, temperatures are dropping. I hope you got plenty of chocolate to keep you warm.
I do, and I hope this time when I get home, I hope my family hasn't eaten it all again. Thank you for that, Annie. And last night we brought you the story of 87-year-old Isla Roberts, who wanted to tick off a horse ride through Sheffield from her bucket list. We're pleased to report, as promised, she was at the reins of 4 Clydesdale horses today, making her way through the main street. We're told she loved every moment of the snail's pace ride, although we're not sure if the same can be said for the drivers behind. Isla made the trip to the northwest town from South Australia and later enjoyed an afternoon nap. And a well-deserved one at that. That's all your news for this Sunday. Thank you for joining us tonight. Enjoy the rest of your Easter evening and we'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.